seeing a bad frame rate again, but hopefully it's coming through okay. Let me hide my preview though. Okay, hi, if you're already here. I gotta cut and put pork away, and then we're gonna make dinner, because I haven't eaten yet. We're also gonna say hi to my kitty cat while we get started. Because she wants attention, I think. But she doesn't want to get picked up, I guess. That's okay. Anyway, yeah, I overpaid for some pork. Woo, happy birthday again! Oh wait, is my title still wrong? Or are you just saying that? Tony redeemed first, that man Zam. Oh yeah, shit, I guess I didn't I didn't open streamer bot upstairs. Oops. Let me go do that. Hold on. Keep them entertained while I'm gone, Tony. Well, I got a candle, and I've got a spoon. I live in a hallway with no doors, no walls. Under the windows here, they all will find a bunch of concrete within the doorway without a sound. Someone take me if you will, and take away all the bad. Please just save me, dear Dad, from my thoughts about me in my worthless life. How did I get here? And what went wrong? 'Cause I couldn't handle forgiveness. Now I'm far beyond gone. And I can hardly remember the look in my own eyes. So I couldn't love this. My life so dishonest. It made me cannibalize. Someone take me if you will, and take away all these bad. Please just save me, Dad, from my blasphemy. Yeah, please release. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, usually I keep StreamerBot open upstairs so that some of the chat integration stuff still works, but I forgot to today. Anyway, hi. We're cooking. Kind of. I gotta cut up some pork, like I said, that I overpaid for. Last time I went to the store, I really needed, like, meat, and I was, I don't know, not thinking right, I guess. And I bought pork that was $3 a pound, which is expensive for pork. At least it used to be when I would go shopping more often. So I have this giant tenderloin that I'll show you, as long as it's not leaking. This whole thing. And I doubt I can get the details to show in a way that's legible. Let's find out. If I do this, you're tender for my loin. The feeling is mutual, sir. Oh yeah, this won't autofocus, so that's bad. Okay, hold on. Let's try this then. No, this is gonna be too washed out. Well, you can just trust me when I say, oh yeah, there you go. Boneless pork loin. It's almost 12 pounds. I paid $3 a pound, so it came out to $35.13, which is not what I would normally pay for pork. That's very expensive. Normally, I thought that you could get pork for like $2, $2.50 a pound, but you know, in this post-January America, and all the tariffs and shit, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that things are expensive. But yeah, so we're gonna cut this, and then we're gonna cook some of it. That's about it. I looked up a recipe that uses stuff I have in the house, which is nice. So I'll be making that. It should post the recipe every so often if it hasn't already. I reckon it hasn't already, but it should be. So yeah, we're gonna cut this up into various size chops, and then I'm gonna put them in little Friezo bags. Don't really know how many chops I'll get out of this, so we're gonna have to just kind of guess as we go. Hi, Black Stark. Ooh, cutie. Talking about yourself in my chat. What's up, man? But yeah, so in order to do this, we're gonna have to flip the camera upside down and moves ya. We're gonna move ya right about here. Farther away from my microphone, so I guess I'll have to start shouting. This mirror is always on the way. What does that mean? This is fine, I guess. Hello, hand cam. The bad news is, me standing here makes things a bit darker. Tell me if it's too dark, and maybe I'll stand to the side, get my fat ass out of the way of the light. Oh wait, yeah, here now we can see the pork details. Just kidding. Now they're like microscopic. How's that? Nope. How's that? Oh, it's upside down. That's how it is. Let's try. How's this? Can we see how much I overpaid? Anyway, Stark, how are you, man? I saw you were playing Bolt Gun the other day. I played like the first 3 levels of that and really liked it, but not enough to play through the whole thing, I guess. Hopefully you enjoyed it. 35 bucks? Yeah, for 12 pounds of meat. Because, you know, $3 a pound. That's a lot of dollars and a lot of pounds. Let me see if I can't get the recipe to post here. Testing 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that's the recipe from Whisk, which is the like internet recipe joining app I use. So we'll be doing that. So yeah, this big guy's got to get chopped into chops, believe it or not, and then those chops can go in these bags. I have the camera flipped so that you'll see things kind of from my perspective, except, you know, it'll be a bit dark, I guess. We're gonna bust out my wooden cutting board that's got Originate for all the juices. And I guess I'll get myself a proper knife, which I almost never use, actually. I tend to just use a paring knife for everything, which, or not a paring knife, but like a vegetable knife for everything. So we can use like a real big boy knife, I guess. Gonna play with a few friends, most likely suffering, so I'll be lurking. What are you playing? Also, maybe I should have some branding on the corner instead of just this banner. Let's try this on for size. I'll put the Teet tape in there. Alright, let's see. How does this look? Impromptu branding. Oh, that doesn't look bad at all. Look at that. Wow, most likely Rocket League or PUBG. Golly, desperate for friends, are we? PUBG? I'm kidding. I say that because I play a lot of random shit just to play with people. Just teasing. But yeah, fuck Rocket League. Specifically. PUBG is just a relic from the past, so I don't really keep up with it. Anyway, have fun. We'll just be cutting pork and making Hawaiian pork chops, which are basically just pork chops simmered in pineapple juice. So, that's something. Hawaiian pork chops, eh? Yeah, Riley. Oh, wait, I should make an exclamation point command so you guys can get the recipe without waiting for the timer. Let's do that real quick. Core commands. Nope. What are those called? Twitch. No, it would be core, wouldn't it? Command triggered. Is this it? I don't know. It's been a while since I've streamer bot. Oh, this is it. Create command. We'll do exclamation recipe. That seems like it makes sense, huh? Anyone can do it. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should also look for this in YouTube comments. Although, no, the YouTube comments will come through my Twitch chat, so that's fine. Hey, look at that, it works. Thank you. Thank you for testing. Also, hi, Riley. Just wanted to change after too much Rocket League, so we didn't know what to go for, so we ended up reinstalling PUBG. Get your friends to play For the King, man. There's so much content in that game. What are you doing? Anyway, yeah, vegetarians look away. We're massacring an 11 or 12 pound piece of pork into chops. We're chopping it up. There's no graceful way to do this without making a mess of my whole countertop, unfortunately. So I'm going to, I think, cut off one of the ends and then cut off the other end. Kind of drain it, and then we'll kind of just like suck some of it out as we go. Interesting recipe? Yeah, it's not exactly, what's the word? It's not traditional, I reckon. Because we're not like barbecuing a whole pig over fire with pineapple slices in it or whatever would be actually traditional. It's just, you know, canned stuff that I have on hand. And that's about it. So we'll see how much of a mess I make doing it this way. I'm trying to just like cut a vent hole in the back for all the juices to flow into the sink, and then we're gonna like swap this out onto the cutting board as we go. Anyway, Blackstark, enjoy your games, man. Hope you have fun. So yeah, I gotta do this at kind of an angle, I think, because otherwise I'm gonna block the only light that I have in here, which is behind me on the ceiling. So we're just gonna yank some of this out, and by some of it I mean probably a pretty good chunk. We're gonna basically cover the cutting board, if I can help it. Let me unsheath the meat real quick. Oh, look at that. There we go. Get her on there. Oh, fuck. Hi, War. Oh, shit, it's a raid. Hi. Hello, friends. You've walked in on me handling my meat. Well, how are we doing? Power washing simulator, huh? Not quite. Welcome, friends. My name's Teeter. Hi. We're cooking today. We're making some food after I put my meat away. So... we're cutting a pork tenderloin I overpaid for into chops, and then we're gonna cook some of it. So basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to cut roughly 1 inch or maybe a little bit thinner chops out of this. So we'll just kind of do this. And we'll get, even though this is the darker portion of the meat, we'll get kind of like a chop. And I'll cut these into groups of 4, I guess. And then package them into small bags. This knife is incredibly sharp because I never use it. So I gotta be very careful that I don't hurt myself. I will say though, it's gonna make it very easy to, you know, cut these into somewhat consistent thickness is, because the second I put the knife down, it starts cutting through. So that's 3. I'm gonna make 4. 4, I hate to rate and run, but we got the series finale of The Sopranos to watch with the wife. The series finale, wow. Well, congrats on making it all the way through. Do enjoy. I've never seen that, so I have no opinion of how it ends, but hopefully you enjoy it, man. Appreciate you coming on by with your raid. Hopefully you had fun in your stream, and hopefully this is a good place to have fun. It's a good knife, yeah, it's very sharp. It's a Japanese-made knife. It says VG, well it says Shun on it, with a symbol, but it also says VG Max Damascus, handcrafted in Japan, classic chef's knife, 8 inches. This is part of a set though. My mom bought me a set many years ago. They're like hundreds of dollars. But you know, for as much cooking as I used to do, and probably should still do, I definitely would still do if I had people to cook for other than myself, well worth it. To the point where I could just kind of set it on top and wiggle it as if it's a reciprocating saw. And it'll just like melt in a day. But you know, any knife can be pretty good so long as you keep it sharp enough. This is just extremely sharp. Mostly, again, because I haven't really used it. The other knife in this set is one I use more often. And it is, let me set this down. This little guy. Actually, no, I lied. This isn't even part of the set. This is the thin plastic handle, some like $20 bullshit. So I've been using that knife for like everything, and I almost never use my big fancy Japanese knife. So whoops, I guess. This was an uneven cut because I realized I started to tilt because I'm doing this at an angle for the lighting situation. But yeah, so now, oh god, these are really thick, actually. Maybe these are the ones I'll cook today. I don't think I've been meaning to cook them that, or make them that thick, but that's okay. Just means you got more simmering power, I guess, when you cook them. I feel like there is no need for conversation. My mom used to get pork loin and put it in the crock pot overnight with butter and some spices. And they use those big fork things to pull it apart and make it into barbecue. Yeah, hell yeah. Pulled pork is great. It's a huge pork loin. Yeah, it's a 12-pound tenderloin. And again, I feel like I overpaid for it because I'm used to paying like around or under $2 a pound, and I paid $3. But that's fine. Trump's America, you know. For those who don't realize it, even things that are made in this country are subject to tariffs because of the way that they're produced. So take, for example, like a Florida tangerine, right? The little netting that they bag it in doesn't come from here. The little sticker they put on it doesn't come from here. If the trucks that transport it to stores need to be serviced, you know, they'll be serviced by parts that don't come from here, or they'll have to be shipped. The parts have to be shipped somewhere and be processed in somewhere that's not here. You know, the list goes on. There's a lot of different parts of chains of process. So literally everything costs too much now, and we've got the whatever leader of the free world to thank for it. So anyway, yeah, I feel like I overpaid for this pork, but I paid a local store, of which there are only 2. So, you know, if I am going to overpay anywhere, I'm kind of glad I did it at this specific place that I won't shout out because they're a little bit too local for my own safety. It's also why I put black duct tape on their name on my label. But, you know, we'll make good use of this. I'm going to get like 4 or 5 meals out of it. So for $35 to get 4 bouts of protein out of it, it's not too bad. It's almost like it's not 1850 anymore. Perfectionism is dumb. Yeah, exactly. Hi JJ, thanks for being third. It's happy weekend. Uh-oh, my iPod's struggling. Also, I'm kind of like barely handling this because it's actually very cold. My hands are getting a little achy from how cold it is. We gotta keep this sort of flat because I'm starting to scrunch it up. Also, we're getting to the fattier part of this, so my knife is struggling ever so slightly. This fun. Still chilling. Kind of cut them in groups of 4. Not a huge fan of pork in most cases. It's actually my favorite protein, I think. I like it more than chicken because it's harder to fuck up than chicken. Chicken, if you look at it wrong for too long, it'll just dry out on you. Also, the way that they produce chicken nowadays, it's kind of easy to find chicken that's like way too, I don't know, a polite way to say it, but like fat. And the chicken will be very fibrous because of it, because they're just pumping it full of steroids or whatever, growth hormones. And the chickens just come out really like fibrous and weird. So even if you do cook them wet, they like fall apart, but not in a way that's melty, just like in a weird, stringy, fibrous, gross way. Pork I've always enjoyed consistently, and most cuts of pork I like. Tenderloin like this, you can cut into boneless chops, which is what we're doing, obviously. Just running the knife right through, there's no bone in here. You do get that fat on the top, and if there's a really thick layer of fat, you can kind of, have a chewy, gross time. But I didn't actually see the need to trim this, because it's not as grossly fatty as it could be. But yeah, bone-in pork loins are good, or pork chops are good, because the bone kind of helps keep moisture within the pork, even if you cook it at high heat. Pork shoulder is good for like chuck roasts and pulled pork and stuff in the slow cooker. Now, let me see if I just can't fit the rest of this on this board here. And I guess I'll put the chops up there, even though I'm kind of running out of room. I'm trying to cut these in about the width of my thumb, now that I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm cutting them too thick. But I don't really want to put my thumb here when I put the knife down, But I kind of have to anyway to keep the pork steady. Well, you'll notice that I'm putting the blade down into the pork before I even put my hand up next to it. And I'm definitely keeping my fingers now wrapped around the front because, bad things could and would happen. Although I am kind of grabbing the front a little bit to stabilize it as the knife gets in deeper because it starts getting stuck between, as you can tell by how dirty it is, it's getting stuck between the pieces of pork. But I put my finger over the top of the knife, so there's no harm, no foul there. But again, this is a very, very sharp knife, so it's a bit scary to put my hands anywhere near. And actually, we're getting to the point now where I might cut it from the right side. That way I can grab the remaining part of the pork instead of this little piece. Before it was weighted down a bit better. Now that it's smaller, it's sliding around. So we're going to try flipping it this way. So I am right-handed. This is my right hand. But again, I can't really eyeball how thick I'm going now. We're anchoring it, being able to cut through it a lot safer. I could actually push down on it without fear of it sliding anymore. That's another group of 4. I guess I'll just back the other ones up here. Sorry, let me get caught up. I've been rambling a little bit. Pork loin overnight. Yeah, good stuff. My mom cuts like that and it's always creeping me out. Your little thumb can be anxiety when you lay it on top. Yeah, no, I guess I explained that away, huh? I'm definitely not putting my thumb down and then cutting, because that's a recipe for disaster. But yeah, I'm very aware of where my fingers are when I cut stuff. Not because I've ever had any accidents, but because I'm afraid of having accidents, especially with a knife this sharp, where I could lose a finger and not realize it until it hit the floor. So I don't really want to do that if I can help it. And I certainly can't help it. Sorry, I didn't actually get caught up before I started cutting this again. I'll do that. I read the thing about cutting the pork, and I guess I wanted to demonstrate it some more. I'm also scrolling chat with my knife hand. Does that make me sad? Y'all like pork enough to dish that? No, I love pork. It's a lot easier to cook consistently than something like chicken. And it costs about the same or even less depending on the cut you get. I'm from Carolina, so I prefer mustard base. What is mustard base for? For a barbecue? I used to have a customer next door. I used to have a customer next door to a chicken processing plant and would sometimes see the chickens in their cages on trucks in the interstate. I felt bad for them. Yeah, if you've ever seen any, like, behind-the-scenes stuff of how they make chicken specifically, but, you know, any kind of mass-processed meat, if you have any feelings about the well-being of animals, please turn your head away. But, you know, I'm not exactly a vegetarian. I'm not someone who thinks if I stop eating meat and go vegan or whatever, that's gonna put a dent in anything. I'm convinced I want to cut this, even though the little piece I'll have at the end is basically nothing. Because yeah, look at how thick this is otherwise. But cutting this in half is gonna leave something a bit weird. And this is also like impossible to hold, so. Don't worry, I'm just holding it this way to start it for the fat layer, because that's hard to get through. And then if I can get a grip on this, we'll just kind of shove it through. I hate doing the tail end of this stuff for this exact reason. Once we're through this, we're done. So I just have to not fuck up cutting this. Okay, we'll do portions of it now that I'm somewhat through. We'll just like saw through to the bottom and then we'll bring the back through. There we go. Graceful? Nah, hell nah. What we got there? Okay, so this little guy will cut, or we'll keep along with what we make today. And then I'll find 4 of these that I don't want to pack away, or can't if they don't fit. And those will be what we cook with. You do the claw thing? Yeah, I can't really do a claw when it comes to something this big, because I can't wrap my thumb around the back. I guess for something like that I could have, but it wouldn't really hold the meat vertically. I usually do the claw with stuff that's thinner. Okay, if I was going to cut this pork like this, I would do the claw thing, because it's not going anywhere, but something that's like standing up like this, there's no way I could properly claw and cut through. Claw's a good method to learn, though. It definitely doesn't feel natural when you start doing it, so if you can get used to it to the point where it feels natural to do, then you're in good shape, I think. I'll explain what the claw thing is in a sec, for those who don't know. Essentially, when you go to grab something, a lot of times people will... Can I find something to grab today? I don't know. Mike, yeah, it's kind of gross. I don't want to touch anything. But anyway, a lot of times when you go to grab something, people will grab it so that their fingers wrap around and their fingertips are exposed when they go to cut stuff. The claw method makes it so that you kind of curl your fingers in, so that your knuckles go forward, like so. And if you were to put a knife up against you, it would hit the top, the side of the knife would hit the top of your knuckle, and then the bottom of the knife could go into whatever you're grabbing onto. You can also do that in a way where your thumb is behind whatever you're cutting. So like if you're cutting a carrot, for example, you could have, I really wish I had something tubular. Well, I guess the handle of the knife would work for this. If you grabbed it like this, you can push the back of the carrot or whatever forward as you start cutting the tip off. So you can have this like claw method where you just grab the back of whatever you're holding, a potato or a carrot or whatever, and you can have the knife safely going against your knuckles into the thing, and as you start making the thing smaller and smaller, you can just kind of inch your hand back or push the thing forward under your claw. It's a very useful way to cut stuff if you can, but given the size of this, I didn't really have any hope for that, so that's not what I did. But I'm aware of, and I often use that method for sure, because again, it's something that you have to kind of train yourself to do, because it's a lot easier to just grab something and start hacking at it. I have a bit of a heart attack when I watch our friend Danny cook, because he doesn't seem to claw, and I fear for his fingies in the same way that you guys are talking about. Oh, Danny. Love him to bits. Not a critique by any means. This is, something you have to think to do. I don't do it that often either, especially if I don't really feel fearful of whatever I'm cutting. or if I'm using a more dull knife, I'm not really worried about nicking myself. But for this chefy thing that I'm currently attempting to wash, big fear, very much fear. Big safety, big fear. I don't care very much for my well-being, but I use my fingers to play video games, so I try to make sure that I don't cut them off. Anyway, yes, we got all of our pork cut up. Hooray. Now we can start prepping to cook it. I don't know what it felt like. I wanted to hear. So a lot of these I'm just going to put away into little baggies that I got from Walmart. I packaged them into 4s, and we're going to cook one of these sets of 4. Probably this really thick, big boy one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these I got to put away. And I have 4 bags out. That's not going to cut it. I will always be attached to you, and you're never gonna feel the same. Oh yeah, it still never got caught up. I said that thing about customers next door, blah blah blah. Yeah, don't watch how they make animals into food. Not gonna make you feel good. Hey, here's an idea before I make my hands more dirty. Let me get myself some space to actually put the bags on. Like over here. That way, I can shove things in here and make sure 4 of them fit. I really put them all the same way. For everything we do in this kitchen, I'll remind everyone, I live alone, so it doesn't actually matter how nicely I do anything, because I am the only person who has to deal with it. So that means I'm probably going to cram these in here in such a way where they get, you know, densely compacted, smushed together. And that's fine by me. Here's the very first, very real example of this. Maybe, if I can do it. Try not to use my dirty pork hand to do this. Anyway, Riley, one time one guy out was just sitting on top of the cage and was like, fly, you're free. Yeah, except they, you know, clip their wings so they can't fly. Plus, they're kind of flightless birds anyway. They kind of just hover everywhere. Haley, maybe I just don't like meat. I like most steaks, beef obviously, but aside from that, I don't care for poultry, pork. Venison's okay, and lamb. What is venison again? I don't even know what animal it's from. A cow or something? Oh, deer, duh. I don't know if I've ever had deer meat too much. My uncle used to go hunting a lot, so he would bring deer stuff home. The echo is such that you can't hear me? Uh-oh. Am I not shouting loud enough? I'm not exactly near my microphone. My microphone's like over across my sink. Night-night, Peanut. Sleep tight. Don't worry, we'll be over where I normally am in a little bit. So hopefully I'm not getting too drowned out when I'm over there. I'm also not really looking toward the microphone, which is a problem. And you know, the music's loud, but I think it's about as loud as it usually is. But apologies for the less than pristine audio while I'm over here. She typed that even? Really? Wow. She calls herself Peanut? Still so scary? Shouldn't be. Claw, no fingers, yeah, okay. I'm confusing you. It took me mentioning the size for it to click. The size of what? I should never ask that. Bug says hi too. Hi, good night. Sit tight. I could have switched my scene for that, I guess. Sorry. Usually when I cut pork chops, they're kind of narrow to the point where I could jam one in down the side, so I do 3 high and 1 sideways, but that's not happening now. You explain the nicknames and the reasons for them? That's good. It's kind of like how Boop is a nickname. Have they learned my actual name yet? Or am I still Boop? The meat and the way you cut carrots? Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, damn, dude, these are massive. It's making my life difficult, actually. It's okay, we can cram them in here. I don't actually have bigger bags, unfortunately, so I gotta kind of work with what I got. And all the recipes I make usually call for about 4 chops, so we'll just make a mess of them. And I've got a spoon. I live in a hallway with no doors, no rooms. Under the windowsill. I don't think I could fit these next to each other. Like, look at how big 3 of them is. Whatever. We'll just have to smush them and hope that they freeze okay. Although there's a lot of air in them when there's a gap like that. When I say your name, they say who? Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't mind being called Boop, even though that's my cat's name. This is a remix. I don't want a remix. America Burning. I don't know this song. Overplayed, but we'll do it. Gotta refresh them. That's whatever. Well, good luck with bedtime. I don't know how hard it is nowadays. Hopefully it's, you know, easy and not a huge production. And I watch the world outside. By the way, I'm leaving out today. I just saw Haley's comics way. Said, why you always running in place? Even the man in the moon disappeared. Somewhere in the stratosphere. Your 4th time hearing this today? That's a problem. Well, at least this is the acoustic version. Or an acoustic version. I don't know if that makes a difference though. Normally I'll actually put a straw in here and suck the air out when I pack stuff for freezing, but 1, it's too cumbersome for stream. A little embarrassing. And 2, these things are just so massive, I don't even think I could properly fit a straw in here to suck. So we won't bother. I'm not afraid. Here, I'll put the packs here so we can see them as they get put on. Good song, no hate, never hate, but like I know every word. Yeah. That's what overhearing a song will do. You can learn all the words even if you don't want to. A lot of those songs are like from the 80s that you hear everywhere. Are kind of the same way. All the classic dad rock songs. I know a lot of the lyrics just because they're everywhere. Or like some high school teeny bop songs, you know? For a long time I knew a lot of Taylor Swift lyrics because they were just everywhere. Nowadays I can do a good job of keeping myself away from stuff I don't care about. So I only know the choruses and stuff you see on TikTok for songs by Sabrina Carpenter or Chappell Roan. And I think I'm better off for it. Yeah, so I think this big beefing 4 set and this little guy will be what we cook today. So these 2 will go away. Even though this one's like massive too. We're gonna try to cram these into 2 bags and then we'll be donezo. And then we'll start cooking, hooray! You gotta know every word to all of Queen Chappelle's songs? No. She's overrated. And also, she's getting herself in trouble on podcasts by whining about her fan base being too woke or whatever. She sings about things that have been made political because singing about things that are moral has become part of the American political landscape. And she's very clearly taken a side. I don't know if it's for the purpose of marketing or because of her actual beliefs, but whatever the reasoning is, it's prominent in her presentation of herself. And then she's complaining that her fan base is politicizing her. And it's like, hate to break it to you, kiddo, but you did that to yourself. Imagine if I got butthurt because people started recognizing me as an anti-capitalist. And I was like, what do you mean? I only always talk about it, but like my streams aren't meant to be political. Hell, I made a joke about how everything's Donald Trump's fault during this stream. So like, you know, imagine if I was like, egad, what, you think I'm a liberal? All the hardest ones to breathe. And I'm not asking for value or the pay, but I am asking. You're doing it to yourself. Yeah, exactly. No surprise Pikachu face is here. I hate the way that some of these are getting packed, but you know, we gotta deal with how massive they are. Alright, last one. And then we'll start the cooking. I don't have a thing set up on this computer yet, and maybe I should start one where I can like type. I used to do this on a couple of my cooking streams, but I used to type some of the steps into text sources in my scenes, and then I'd press buttons to like iterate through them so that we'd always know what step I was on, but we're still kind of in the infancy of bringing this stuff back, so we'll just have to have me scream out what I'm doing at all times and hope that's sufficient. The cooking. The poor packing of chops into bags for freezings. Oh shit, it like popped out. This is a Janet Jackson 2001 wardrobe malfunction in my port. Also, I just touched this bag with my porky hand. Oops. Don't worry, I'll rinse it with a soapy sponge in the sink. Alright, voila. There they all are. Now I would bring them downstairs, but I guess we'll just toss them in my freezer out here for now. Oh, I actually still have some old pork chops in here. Check this out. The last time I bought pork, I was able to fit them in the bag. Like I said, it's going to be hard to tell because they're freezer burned a little bit. But they're like 1, 2, 3, and then 4. But these are way too big to do that. See how much smaller these are, even on like the tiny preview thing? So, that's something. Meat on the board looks like a hand. Yeah, I was using a pretty sharp knife, people. We'll just have to make do without. What's up, man? Happy weekend. Hope you're doing well. Let me get these into the freezer up here. The bad news is I'm putting them on a rack, so they're going to kind of sink through the rack when they freeze. And that gives them a bit of a predetermined shape that makes them harder to keep stacked on each other. But you know what they say. Whatever. Busy and loud times, huh? What? The bag's about to break? Nah. It's fine. Alright, we gotta flip you again. Move you back home. Let me cover it so it's not as dizzying. Oh, I only mostly covered it. Well, you know, my thumbs are only so big. What's up, kids? I hate that this is the same band as in the last, like, 3 songs we just listened to. Shandon's doing that whole, like, Maroon 5 corporate pop music shit. Not a fan. Alright. Let's prep for cookery then, shall we? These glasses come off if anyone didn't know that. Okay. Teet, baby! Can you request a song? If I have it on my iPod, you can. As I've mentioned, I use an iPod. Just put on workout music like Radioactive by Imagine Dragon. Yeah, same thing. I don't have that on my iPod because I have, what's it called? Respect for myself. What song, Haley? If it's doable, we'll do it maybe. Let me move my chat phone over here and then we'll get started. I probably don't. What is it? Oh, Enemies? That might come on. I've been listening to Shine. This has exclusively been Shinedown, so. And I don't think it's come on yet. If you exercise patience, it might just happen naturally. Or I could look for it, I guess. But it's gonna like reshuffle everything we've already heard. The nature of iPods, I guess. Okay, yeah, so we're making this recipe that I haven't seen post in chat in a while, and I don't know why. Guess I'll double check my timer on StreamerBot. Oh god, where do I find this? Settings, I think? Timed actions? Enabled, yes. Every 10 minutes and 1 line spoken. Except, you know, it hasn't done it, so that's good. Anyway. Oh, I didn't submit this, my bad. Either that or I'm not connected to my own chat client. Maybe? Maybe? Uh-oh, it might happen twice. Okay, anyway, that's what we're making. What we have to do is we brown pork chops in oil. We salt and pepper them and brown them in oil. We move them to a plate for a while. And then we put in some vegetables and some liquids. Specifically beef broth, which I have pre-mixed here. And 8 ounces of pineapples from a can. I have a 20-ounce can of pineapple chunks from Aldi. So I'm going to have to eyeball about less than half of this. Undrained as well. 1/4 cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, which I might not have anymore. Oh no, who am I kidding? I still got a full jar of it or whatever. And then we make a cornstarch slurry and serve it over rice. I already made rice before the stream. That's what's in this pot here. 4 cups of rice, I think it is. So let's start doing that. Step 1 is we get the burner on. Actually, I guess step 1 is we're gonna switch to a cooking scene. I guess this one, because we'll have the stuff on the counter. Whoa. Actually, I'm not doing anything on the counter. We'll do it this way. What would you do? What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing a song. And I'll try not to sing. Alright, I'll try not to put my knife away. Sorry, I want to skip that song. I don't care for it. Yep, so okay, we'll put the burner on, we'll get some oil in there. I wish I had more canola oil. I only have peanut oil, grapeseed oil, and 2 different kinds of olive oil. So I guess I'll just use this extra light olive oil from Aldi, because on the front of it here, which you can't see, it says that it's good for baking, roasting, and frying. I don't have auto focus on this camera, which I'm starting to think is a bit of a problem. The problem is I step in front of and away from this burner so much that I have a feeling that it would just zoom in and out consistently and be annoying. So I guess I'll just have to accept the fact that it's blind, or that it's blurry a lot. Anyway, here I have a beef broth that I made out of a bouillon powder some time ago. I'm just going to whisk it back together because it's been sitting here for a while, and even though I boiled it, it may have come separated a little bit. But yeah, first step is to sear the pork. I've got 5 chops here, and I'll get myself a plate to remove it to, I guess. You see the warp, you're gonna send me a new cookware set? I have a new cookware set, if you believe me. I can actually bring it on screen, maybe. Hopefully this doesn't fall over, but here are some new pots and pans I don't use, because I don't really have room for them in my cupboards, and this one's not so broken that I feel the need to get rid of it. But I have an extra set waiting in the wing. I actually have another extra set in my cupboards. So I'm just, I don't know, am I a hoarder? I'm not sure. Anyway, it'll be so much easier. Nah, it's fine. So yeah, we're supposed to salt and pepper the pork. I guess I'll do that on the cutting board. You just have to trust that I'm doing it, because I don't feel like moving the camera again. You are a miracle in me. Alright, so I'm going to put 1 pork down, laying on one side. We'll salt it. We'll flip it, we'll salt it again. I'm going to do that for all of them with salt. And then I'll do it again with pepper, I guess. This is a bit of a visual spectacle. I feel a little bit bad that I'm robbing you all of it. Actually, you know what? I could move this on the other counter and do that. Nah, I'm not gonna. You'll just have to believe that I'm seasoning this pork. I might be over-seasoning it, actually. But the citrusy acidicness of the pineapple and the sweetness of it actually should kind of overcome if I manage to overdo this a little bit. It's not very often I actually season things with normal iodized salt. I usually use kosher salt because it's thicker and you can kind of tell when you've overdone it a little bit easier. You can't over-season pork? You can. Throw some of the unused things away. Surely you don't use everything in that kitchen. Well, that's true. I want to really just use my cast iron again, but 1, I can't store that in the fridge with my food when I'm done cooking, and 2, I don't care enough about cooking for myself to use a piece of dishware I actually care about, so I've just been using this beat up old pan for a long time. But if I ever go grocery shopping again and we make Teet a more like consistent thing, then maybe I'll feel the need to like invest in it, quote unquote, and actually use good cookware and stuff. But maybe not, probably not. You love cast iron? Yeah, I do too. Just not enough to use it, I guess. Alright, let's see if we can't get this to actually cover the pan with a little bit of labor here. It's definitely warm enough already. So much effort and it's not even covered. Oh well. So yeah, we're just searing the chops. Can I fit all 5 in here without them overlapping or whatever? Probably not, but we'll try our best. There's 1. I'll probably have to do 3 and then 2. Yeah, man, these are massive. That's crazy. Let's put the little guy in there too. Also, I'm gonna crank this a little bit because it's not searing as immediately as I want. One takes up half the pan. Yeah, I know, they're huge, huh? That's fine. And then, yeah, I'll need somewhere to remove them too after. I guess I'll just put them back on the cutting board. Even though it's a little juicy, I don't care. They're gonna be simmering in the liquid mixture we make for like 10 minutes. So that'll wash the uncooked juices off, I guess. Can opener. I have to remember not to drain this. Should we enjoy some pineapple chunks while we wait? See that cooking up there? Look at these little guys. Aren't they so cute? I'll get my tongue to peel off because of the acid from this before I even start eating the pork. I'm too shaky to do that. Oh, those are sizzling, popping, spewing now. I make a mess of my cooktop there. I used to have, and I don't know if I still do. Oh, I do. One of these useless things you can use to kind of curb the spatter on your pan. But of course, if you're shooting out a big glob of oil, it'll just go through that and fracture and go elsewhere. But we'll try to cover it, I guess. In the meantime, I'll use my refuse cloth to try to get some of the scattered oil. Also, I guess I'll move the rice out of the way a little bit while this is stewing. I don't really want the extra pot to get too covered. I think I'll flip these in a minute. And by that I mean, now. Look at my trusty tongs here that I do everything with. Scoop under the little guy first. Look how brown that is. Again, I don't need to cook through these right now. We're just browning them. We're getting a nice crust on the outside. Because again, these are going to simmer in the pan in some liquid. That liquid's going to be made of beef broth, pineapple chunks, some ketchup, brown sugar, and apple cider vinegar. Yummy, yummy. But also we have to cook vegetables first. So in this weird looking baggie here, I have some thawed and chopped green peppers and minced onion. These are once frozen, which is why they're in this bag, but I thawed them a little while ago so they would kind of dry out a little bit so that when they go into an oily pan, they don't shoot everywhere. We'll see how successful that effort is. Time for beer. Nice Jenny cream ale. Genesee. So after we sear these, I'm going to have two more to do. I don't think I'll top off the oil And then that way when we get to doing the vegetables, I just put them in the pan with what's left, and hopefully the liquid that's in the vegetables won't spatter out so much because there won't be that much oil in there. That's the hope anyway. We'll see if it actually works out in practice. Making sure they're not stuck. Trouble with me every day. That never goes away. Oh, hi, Danny. Teet eats. That's true. What's up, Danny? How we doing? You know it smells yummy? Yeah, it does. It smells like pork crusting up, which is like one of my favorite cookery smells. How am I? I'm okay, I guess. It's the weekend. I like weekends. Although I haven't played Repo in like 3 days, so I'm having a bit of a withdrawal from Repo. Maybe we can fix that this weekend, I guess. I don't know. It's a good smell indeed. Yeah, I wish I could waft it to you guys. What? Lots of Repo on the weekend? Yeah. If I wasn't so committed to trying to stream all day, every day on the weekend, I would do a better job of playing Repo all day. I was watching Hannah play Repo earlier, and my jaw hit the floor. Oh, by the way, I overcooked this. I forgot that it was tiny. So we're moving these to my cutting board, and we're immediately going to replace them with more of the same. Oh, actually, this is going to set up my smoke detector. Let me go deal with that. Step 1, put the range on. Step 2, take the detector off the wall so it's mad at me. Nice and smoky. I didn't notice it until I backed away. I thought this was mostly steam. The pork wasn't burning by any means, so I guess it's just the oil smoking. It's annoying though. Wag a cutting board around my kitchen trying to disperse it a bit. Jenny, be lurking? That looks so good. Yeah, it smells good. I mean, it's just pan-seared pork, so how bad can it be? We'll see how bad it turns out when we do the rest of it. Here is one of the ground chops. I'll just show you. It'll be a little drippy though, but I'm over my sink. Looks good. I think olive oil is shit. You hate olive oil for this? Yeah, I mean, it says it's good for roasting, but I mean, if you get it too hot, which is, as hot as I need to sear pork, it starts to smoke. That's why I usually like a higher smoke point oil like canola, but I don't have any. Can you see how smoky it is in here? Probably not. I mean, you can see this happening, but it's fine. I'll just have everything coated in a thin film of pork cookery for a little while. My couches are gonna smell like pan-seared pork for a week. Oh yeah, the bottom of the pan is super burnt. That's crazy. The worst part is the temperature's not even that high. You can tell by how charred these are, it's like picking up the old crustules from the other pork. I did turn the heat down a smidge, but I don't think it'll save it. It's gonna be a little burnly. Again, we're not cooking these through, we're just trying to crust them up, and then we'll put vegetables and stuff in there. If I wasn't so afraid of the peanut flavor of peanut oil, I would use that instead. I do have grapeseed, I guess. I could use that. But I really should just go shopping and get vegetable or canola oil again if I'm going to be cooking stuff like this. Do another lap with my wifey rag thing. I'm going to do a proper clean after I'm done cooking, but that's just kind of to cut down on the massive spatter, you know. The next time that clock changes, I'm going to take them out and then we'll put the vegetables in. Should I search for enemies while we're idling? I bet you can't even hear it now that I'm cooking. Oh man, I'm skipping so much good shit. This is taking forever. Is it gonna be like the last of my 179 songs? I don't want. I gotta take the pork out. Maybe I'll find it specifically. You mostly hear it. Whoop. Yeah, dude, the state of this pan is something else. Look at how gnarly this looks. Crazy. That's fine. I would rather reveal myself in my situation. Alright, so onions and green peppers going in there. Enjoying the burn. I pretend to close my eyes. So if I had to guess, this onion's gonna burn kind of quick. Even though the heat's kind of low, the residual heat in the pan is probably gonna help things cook faster than I'd like. But yeah, so looking at the instructions here, which I haven't been doing. I've been doing this from memory, so oopsie. Yeah. No, thank you. I don't want to email recipe of the day to myself. Where are we looking? Sprinkle pork chops with salt and pepper. Heat 2 teaspoons of oil in a skillet over medium heat. Cook chops until brown. 4 minutes per side. Remove and keep warm. Dunzo. In the same skillet, saute green pepper and onion in remaining teaspoon of oil, which I omitted, for about 2 minutes. Stir in broth, pineapple, ketchup, brown sugar, and vinegar. Bring to a boil, and then return the pork to a pan to simmer on the lower heat for about 7 minutes. Or, until the pork is cooked through, essentially. So, I'm going to guess that this is fine. This has probably been cooking long enough. Although, I have a huge chunk of onion in here, and I have no idea where that came from. Gonna be a little prize at the bottom of the bucket. So let me wash off my ladle so I can use it to get my pineapple out. And then we'll kind of measure out the other stuff. Pineapple's the most acidic, so I kind of want it in there first. To, as Haley said, deglaze that shit. I'm going to do about half this can or a little bit less. I did eat some though, so maybe if I do about half the can now, it'll be about the right amount. A little bit of extra liquid for good luck. It's about half, I'd say, if you look down in there. Maybe a little bit more. Doesn't seem pineapple-y enough for all 4 of the pork chops I had. We'll crank the heat up a little because it's supposed to be boiling. So to this we'll also add the beef broth that I prepared from bouillon. I'm just going to scrape the sides a little bit because I think it's settled, as I was saying before. This is about 14 ounces, a little less than a full 16. Kind of mix this together so all the vegetables aren't over to one side. We'll also kind of scrape the bottom of this as it heats up. Oh shit, I sloshed. Oops. Alright, so that's the beef broth in and the pineapple chunks in. We are due for about a quarter cup of ketchup, which I probably should have done before, so I could wash it out with something else, but that's fine. I got my quarter cup measuring cup here. I'll just squirt ketchup into it and then finger it in. So here's our quarter cup. I'll bang some of it in, and I'll just use my finger on the edges here to kind of coax the rest along. Mostly to avoid food waste, less so than me being worried about a precise measurement here. Oh, hi, Laba. Did you check your Steam account when you got home, by chance? Quarter cup of these nuts. I don't know, I didn't want to use peanut oil because I was afraid of a nut flavor. Don't know if I should do a quarter cup of these nuts. Let's try to incorporate that even though it's a goop in a liquid. And then we need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, which I have locked away because of pantry pests. And a tablespoon of cider vinegar, which I will eyeball because I don't care enough. Although I guess if I'm using my teaspoon to get brown sugar, I guess I could use a tablespoon for cider vinegar. Or I could use a tablespoon for the brown sugar, because it's only an extra teaspoon. Maybe it won't affect it that much. Maybe it will offset all of the salt I think I added. Why should you be excited? Nah. Not that excited. So I have like nearly an entire jar of Bragg's apple cider vinegar, but I haven't used it in a long time, so I gotta shake it to reincorporate it, I guess. It's probably too old to use if I had to guess. I'm not gonna dare look at the Best Buy date because it's probably from like COVID. Smells like vinegar though. Tablespoon of vinegar. So we'll do that after I administer the brown sugar. Here's my brown sugar in a nice little plastic tub because again I have been afflicted by pantry pests in the past, and now I must take preventative measures to not allow little buggies in my food again.
I say go.
So we'll just kind of scoop about 2/3 of a tablespoon into here. Because 2/3 of a tablespoon
This is your moment.
makes 2 teaspoons. So there's our 2 teaspoons of, oh no, I'm sorry, it's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Look at that. So we'll do the other third, and then we'll do another full packed tablespoon of brown sugar. Yummy. And we'll pack her back away so the buggies don't get in. Hooray. Shake it, don't break it. Took your mama 9 months to make it. What's that from? Is that a chaperone hit? We were just talking about her. So 2 tablespoons of that, 1 tablespoon of this. Voila. We'll mix that a bit with my ladle. It's already boiling, so I'm going to cut it down so you can put the pork back in. Rinse off my measuring spoon and toss it away into the pantry. I'll just put my can opener away. Stir to incorporate. Make sure the little chunkies of ketchup are dispersed. I guess I can whisk this. I do have a whisk handy. I'm trying to knock some of the pineapple out of the way so we can get at those ketchup chunks. And then yeah, we just toss the pork back into here for probably 7 minutes. It says 5 to 7, probably a bit longer because I do have really thick chops that I cut. Also, these pineapple chunks are kind of massive. There's a part of me that wants to smash them up a bit. But I don't exactly have a good way to do that, so I don't think I will. Oh yeah, we never looked for Haley's song. I should do that. Ketchup chunks? Yeah. You know. Left out in the rain. What album was that off of? Found it. Off of Amarillo. Their last album before they started sounding weird. You know what ketchup chunks means and you hate it? I mean, it's just, you know, ketchup before it gets thinned out when you eat it. Oops, I leaked pork juice onto my counter. Oh no. Alright, let's see if we can't cram all these into here. There's one, kind of. Here's another, kind of. Oh, that's not underneath the pineapple, so. Here you go, slide it under there, under the juices. So I got 2 more to fit in there, so, you know. They're gonna kind of be stacked a bit, I think. But that's fine. And then the little guy, just offering some support from wherever I can jam them in. I will stir this, or whatever, get some of the hot stuff on the top. Armadillo. Play Pass the Beat by New Edition. Nah, man, it's gotta be on my iPod. Sorry. I don't have boy bands or whatever on my iPod. Pop artists, K-pop, whatever. Nothing you like. I got all the music that I always seem to listen to on my iPod. Everyone always says I only like one type of music. I don't think that's entirely true, but that's predominantly what's on my iPod, so maybe it's more true than I realize. Bug the worst, I know. If my version of listening to stuff from my youth is not listening to, like, all the stuff that you find on classic radio, but listening to stuff that people don't remember because no one cared about it when it was on, then I'm fine with that. And evidently that's what I'm doing, because I tell you, like, you listen to Papa Roach, and you're like, nah. And then I show you, like, 3 songs, and you're like, oh, maybe I do know Papa Roach. That's weird. Yeah, but like how forgettable, true. You kind of listen to niche stuff like this, you're obsessed with this song in 6th grade. I don't even remember this song being one that they promoted for the album, but maybe it was. The big hit from that album was Bully. All you'll ever be is a faded memory of a bully. Make another joke while they hang another up so lonely. That song was okay, I guess. A little, what's it called? Pandering. Alright, so we're supposed to simmer this for like 7 minutes. I want to kind of cover, like this guy on the top here, he's not really simmering, is he? Also, God damn it, I sloshed again. Yeah, this guy's sitting on like a bed of vegetables. We gotta free him. Or vegetables. Vegetables and fruits, I guess. Trying to get stuff from the bottom on top of the pork. Yeah, there we go. Proper simmering. With a little bit of basting. Let's hope this turns out good. I need a deeper pot. It's a pan. Also, if it was deeper, it wouldn't help. It needs to be wider, so I could lay everything down in a layer. It's just that the pork was too bulbous. You missed the part where we portioned it out and put it in baggies, but like the way I normally store it is I put 4 in a tiny little quart-sized bag. I can usually stack 3 up like this in the bag, and then I cram 1 on the side. So I have a little 4-piece thing. And today I had to cram them all on top of each other because they were so wide that they took up the entire bag, but I couldn't really cram them in there. So I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, and then something on the back. So, I'm too bulbous, I knew that. Whoops. Broke the lid of my pineapple can off. So I guess while we wait the arbitrary amount of time for that to simmer, we'll keep enjoying pineapple chunks because I have more than the recipe called for in this can.
Yummy, yummy.
You want pineapple from a can or fresh? From a can tastes just fine to me. Fresh makes my tongue like peel itself off. This is a little bit more mild. Open up your mouth for the choo-choo twang. Nyeh. When are you playing Fortnite, Lava? You guys pick a time? Been craving fruit a lot? Yeah, I know. You were yearning for bananas the other day. Something obvious joke. What's next? Frozen cucumber? Grapes have been your go-to? Those are fun. They don't really have a lot of substance to them, though. Kind of like watermelon. Like, I could eat a whole watermelon and not feel like I ate anything. So I drink the juice from this as I go, too. When I eat a can of peaches, drinking the juice or the syrup is my favorite part. Probably not good for you, but that's what we do. Okay, let's continue reading the recipe. So, bring to a boil, return the pork to pan, reduce heat, cover and simmer. Oops, that's fine. Remove the pork and keep warm. Combine cornstarch and water until smooth, stir into the skillet and bring to a boil to thicken the sauce. So we're gonna have to make a slurry. I officially don't have somewhere to put the pork, so I should probably procure a plate or something. Actually, I got one in my sink I could wash. Play Polyphia. I can't randomly burst into unwanted musical vocal outings to Polyphia. They're entirely instrumental. I almost said they're musical. Duh. Actually, they have that one song where somebody just like haphazardly says the alphabet, but I don't know the lyrics to that song. Watermelon's probably your least favorite fruit. Why? Because it's a nothing fruit, even though it tastes kind of good? Alright, yeah, so I have a plate here that I will remove the pork to. And then we'll slurry the rest. Doesn't really taste though. I mean, it depends what kind of watermelon you get. Some of them are just like watery nonsense that have no flavor, but some of them are actually kind of juicy and taste kind of sweet. My hands are a little wet, so I'm slipping. These are just so big, man. Also, I'm gonna let them simmer in the thickened sauce for a while too, even though it doesn't call for it, because I don't trust that these are cooked through. They probably are, but I know this little guy is definitely cooked through. This little tail end thing that we had. Alright, so cornstarch slurry. I'll make it in the little bin that I had the beef broth in. I forget how much it calls for. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water. God damn, man. That's a lot. Don't usually need that much, but whatever. This is a brand new box of cornstarch. Is that the way to go? It might be. I think I threw out my open ones. That poor thing is nuked. The little guy, yeah. I cooked him at big boy temperatures and for big boy times, and well, not a big boy. Didn't say no to your suggestion. What, to put on Polyphia? I did say no to Polyphia. Did I not? Also, he usually gets on around 9 and it's 10 too. Message him, I guess. Do I have a small plastic container for this? I do. So our new cornstarch is going to live in one of these. But I got it new out of a box right now. This guy right here. You missed the message between your 2 messages. Brother, you're bulbous. I want pineapple. Give me some. I've been craving fruit a lot. I haven't heard from him. He usually gets on around 9. When I come, I'm going to make you blast K-pop and watch me do dances. Play Polyphia. What did I miss? I literally read all of these. I'm opposed to you doing K-pop stuff? I'm stuck with you doing it already. What's the difference? And saying you're gonna make me do dances isn't actually gonna make me do the dances. I quite literally cannot dance. So. I'm sure there's a lot from you that's gonna just be happening. So. I accept the charges, you know. So what they warn you about when you call a prison or whatever. This cornstarch might be too big for this little container. Looks like I'll pack it down a little bit. I have faith. I believe. In an effort to not be wasteful, I'll feather it into there. Okay, what do we say? 2 tablespoons of the stuff, 3 of the water? That seems like a lot, but we'll measure it, I guess. We'll say that's about 1. We'll say that's about 2. You have a 53-pound poodle laying on you? Is that a euphemism? Actually, I'd rather it wasn't. Considering the source. Is that uncomfortable? My 70-some pound dog used to crawl into my lap sometimes, and I thought it was cute. I think that's how much she weighed. I guess I don't know. Wait, Jack, he's turned into a fat fuck. He's like 14 pounds. How much is the ideal weight for a cat, generally speaking? I know cats come in different sizes or whatever. Yeah. What's like the healthy weight range for a cat? I'm sure Boop is somewhere around 10 or 11. Just eyeballing her. Alright, so 2 tablespoons of this. And then 3 tablespoons of wok. So that's all that's in here. Now I gotta try to incorporate it. I guess I'll use my tasting fork to do that because my whisk isn't really gonna make a big dent into this at the bottom here. So we'll just kind of wang-jangle a fork around in here until it feels kind of smooth. Not an exact science. We'll whisk it in when we actually put it in the pan there. You want to make sure I like scrape the sides and stuff though. Doom 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 doom. Alright, so we'll just feather this in. Ooh yeah, slurry daddy. Grab the old stir machine. Also get this shit out of here. This is just for display purposes. Play Gojira. Same thing, I don't think I could jam out to Gojira too much. Unless you want me screaming at the top of my lungs. Stranded! And on the steam remains, and I lost and soul me now. The voice inside screams out loud. It's already like thick as shit. Cause I found a way steal the sun from the sky. Long. Oh my God, look at how thick this got. It's a work of art. Cram it under there. Holy shit. Can we get the fourth one in there too? Oh my God. Oh my God. Get in there. Get in there. Get covered. Take your seat and take direction. And then this poor little shriveled up thing, man. Just pretending like it can play, you know? I got some of the drippings in here too. That'll be fun. Play ginger. I don't have that on my iPod. Gojira is a vibe, actually. Maybe I'll do Gojira next time if you remind me. Bit of a vibe shift, though. Maybe I'll make a French dish next time we do a Teet, I'll do a French dish, and then we'll listen to French death metal band Gojira. Alright, so this is basically done. And thankfully I've only got like 3 dishes to clean up. That's not too bad. Or like cooking implements, I guess. Implements? Instruments? So let's plate this fish, shall we? I have my rice that's been sitting at room temperature for like 3 hours. I can't wait for foodborne illnesses. We'll go ahead and we'll slap a bed of this on this plate. Although let me fluff it up a little bit first. Be a bit of a fluffer. Smells nice and jasmine-y, which is what we want. I did rinse my rice that I made today, for those who care. And it's still just as thick, sticky, gunky, junky as it would be if I didn't. So I still don't get the hype. Rinse this shit until the water's ran perfectly clear. Tested by like putting it into a cup thing and then jamming my ladle down to see how obscured the water made my ladle tip. Perfectly clear water, and yet still a sticky mess of jasmine rice. Maybe it'd be less sticky if it was warmer than it is, I don't know. But here we go, we'll just kind of scissor out a little bed of it onto the plate. Bamboozalooth. Hello, what flavor of canned dog food is that? That there? It's actually pineapple, which I'm pretty certain would kill a dog. So, should probably look into the company that, you know, packages and sells this. Make it looks like a restaurant dish, make Gordon Ramsay proud. I don't think anything can make Gordon Ramsay proud unless it makes him money.
So there was
normally I would eat 2 pork chops, but these are so honking big that I think I'll just have 1.
The only way we were
So I'll just
truly gonna do it.
slap one of these on a
Man
plate,
to my left here, Mr. Will
and then I'll scoop some of the broth and vegetables and stuff into here. And thankfully the little portion of the pan that this was in is now vacant enough to scoop from.
It's an absolute inspiration on many different levels.
So here we go.
Brilliant songwriter, one of the most
You know, just a little bit of the sauce. We'll just drizzle
Ladies, he even makes my knees.
throughout. Ladies, he even makes my knees weak.
Thank you so much for coming out here.
Right. Pineapple kills your tongue? Same. The canned stuff, not so much. It's kind of sweetened. Or whatever. I'm from slop to nice, back to slop real fast. I mean, that's the point. It's a slop. It's a thick sauce with chunks in it. It's not as brown as it comes off on the camera. It's a little bit more orangey because of all the citrus in it. But it's a beef stock base. If you want to peep the recipe, it should be showing on a timer, but it hasn't been, so I'll just post it again. But it's meant to be a Hawaiian pork chop, only called that because there's pineapples in it. But yeah, that's it basically done. Well, I'll show her off and eat it, I guess. I guess. Serve with pork and, if desired, rice. I don't know why you wouldn't serve it with rice. That seems like a misplay. Also, there's only like 3 pineapple chunks left in here. It's a pineapple and ham pizza with fried coconut shrimp on top. Oh, you're making a pina colada pizza. Sorry, I missed that. That sounds good. Pina colada, huh? Alright, let me see if I can't cut into this on the counter and then show it off. Because I actually don't know if it's done. Should be. We simmered it twice. For a long time. Oh yeah, I cut into like the fattiest part of the pork. Hold on. It's like a little fat chunk. Let me cut into the middle of it and see. If anything, this is actually overdone because it looks kind of dry. That's fine though. I'll show you in a sec if I can get it to stop dripping. There's the cut, nice and fibrous, so probably a bit dry. But the thick sauce should make up for it. Also, this is kind of like the end cap of the pork, so it's a little on the fattier side. Like dark meat bits throughout. So let's get a pineapple chunk and some rice on the pork. And then we'll jab it into, where'd that piece I just cut go? Oh, hide in plain sight. Here's a full fork full. Time to give it a go. If you can't tell by how slowly I have to chew this, the pineapple chunks are way too big. I probably should have diced them after getting them out of the can. I'll try a bite of the pork on its own. Yeah, just a touch over. They were so big, I wasn't really sure how to time it. I probably cooked them most of the way when I seared them. And then simmering them, probably just put them a little bit over. But if I just cut some bites up, I can show you what the plate looks like as we sit and munch on it, because I don't like eating off camera. It takes away from some of the spectacle of the whole thing, you know. But yeah, I definitely chose too small a plate even for one chop, which is like incredible to me if that's the case, but it is the case. Let me get it slopped back together. Also got a little bit of sauce threatening to leave the plate. Alright, here we go. Wow. Dog food. Tasty dog food though. You want salmon lava? What inspired that? Looks yum, tastes yum, and it was kind of easy. The hardest part was breaking down the tenderloin. It wasn't even that hard, it was just time consuming. How long have we been live? Almost 2 hours? Yeah, it doesn't take 2 hours to cook this, that's for sure. I will say, I occasionally buy fruits in cans, like pineapple, or I have some like tangerines, I think, and a few other things. but I never actually cook with them. So I'm glad when I was looking for easy to make pork chop recipes, this came up because it gave me an excuse to use the pineapple I would probably not otherwise touch. You like canned pears? I might have a can of pears in there. I'd have to check. I kind of just buy one or two of everything they have and then try to make a point to use it somehow before it goes bad like 3 years later. A vintage Teeter cooking stream? Yeah, just like the good old days, huh? Lurking while playing Warzone? I played some Warzone last week. If you find yourself on again this weekend, let me know. Maybe I could squad up with you for a bit, if you don't mind carrying me. But enjoy Warzone. Thanks for saying hi, Panky. Hope you had a decent week. Let me cut up some more of this so I could scoop it. Anyway, yeah, this is the eating portion, so all the theatrics of cooking are done. You can keep eating and chatting for a little bit if you want, or we can raid out to someone who's doing something more worth watching, I guess. And then I'll just eat this and go play video games or something. Let me know, I suppose. Start an unofficial poll where you have to actually type your response in chat. Play Gojira? No. Repo? Probably also no. Because Lava asked me to play Fortnite with her and her friend unless he didn't show up and she changes her mind. We're gonna have some repo this weekend though. We gotta do it early so that Hannah and Danny can join. Well, Hannah didn't really agree. I pitched that we should play, and she just said, "You guys play too late." Which I think was a no. Can't ever know for sure. You literally said in an hour. You said around midnight. Which, oh, and I'm looking at my own midnight. Oh no, you said around 9. Yeah, which is now. 9 o'clock is now for you. When did you say an hour later? I must have missed it, sorry. You never get responses, literally never? What, from Hannah? Or by pinging my channel? I answer you. Although I don't think I did today because I was getting ready to cook. I was showering and straightening the beard, which is why the beard looks so like squarish today. You said usually in an hour, and then I heard from him and you said in an hour. No, you said 9. You said usually at 9. It's currently 9. That's why I was under the impression that it wasn't right now. But now it's an hour. Okay, well I hear you now. If you said that before, sorry I missed it. I don't think you did though. Wait, you want to play Repo for 1 hour? I can do that, I guess. Not that that's all that long, but something. You did say an hour before? Okay, my bad. I read the 9 p.m. bit and thought that was the end of the thing. I wonder if all the chops that I made are this end PC. You see how brown this is? That's not because it's old. It's because it's like a dark meat portion of the pork tenderloin. More like the end caps. So I wonder if the other chops that I made, other than that really tiny one that, you know, is having a hard time. I wonder if the other ones are a little less brown. Like this one literally looks like dog food because of how brown it is. Stop putting my food in your face. It's rude because you can't actually take a bite. It's probably better for your safety if you don't anyway. We all know how I keep my food. Although I have been keeping stuff in plastic tubs so there's fewer bugs in it. So that's been good. Are you certain I'm alright? Just decide to remind me tomorrow's worth the fight. Ever changing, the storyline that keeps me alive. Microwave inside. Okay, this is the last piece of pork I have on here. Maybe I should eat that baby one. Ah! Almost dropped it, no big deal. Some of those big ones are overcooked. This thing is definitely overcooked. Crying out for a hand to pull it out from the dark. Pork jerky this is. Actually, it's not that bad. Making a show of it for no reason. I don't actually know where the lid from this pot cooking set is. Perky? Yeah, perky pork jerky. Right before my eyes, take another look. Take a look around. It's you and me. It's here and now. Oh wait, is it literally this one that's on top of the entire stack? Holy shit, it is. Wow. I don't think I could fit 2 of these on my fridge though. Put us in the fridge. Go ahead, get down with it or whatever. Put us in the fridge. This sauce is really good though. I'm finding it hard to tell how much the peppers are making an impact in it. Because it mostly just tastes like pineapple and beef broth. More pineapple than beef broth. If I make this again though, I think I gotta make it a bit punchier than it is. Especially when it gets soaked into the rice, it tastes a little bit bland. I'm trying to think of what component of what I did would be like lacking. I did the right amount of beef broth. I kind of eyeballed how much pineapple was in it, so maybe I did too much pineapple and it's making it sweeter than it should be, but I don't think so. What about half fresh pineapple, half canned? Maybe. I don't think it needs to be more like pineapple zesty though. I guess I just mean like a deeper flavor profile. So I don't know if I should like reduce the sauce more. Like reduce it without putting the cornstarch slurry in it, because that makes it just like a thick goop. Or if I just make more of the sauce and then reduce it so that it's more flavorful, I don't know. Not bad by any means, but I tend to kind of over-season my stuff. But given that this was basically just like a juicy sauce made out of canned and pre-prepared liquids, it didn't really hit that hard. Oh, tastes good. Also, I use this very, very thick black pepper. You see how you can see the individual grains of it in there? That's what I use to season the pork, and every so often I get a little bit of it, and it tastes really good. I like that there's just like little bursts of black pepper throughout. But the recipe just called for, you know, salt and black pepper, so you don't need to use the big chunky stuff like I did. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I don't know. I'm almost done eating this plate, and I think I will be sufficiently filled after it, so. I guess here on Twitch we can find someone to raid, I guess. I should probably do that from my phone, though. Hi, Athletics. Good evening. Happy weekend. How are you? We're kind of done. You missed the festivities a little bit, but that's okay. The VOD will be up for a while. And also, I'm streaming to YouTube, so you'll find the whole video over there. But hi. Oh, speaking of Repo, Giggly is on playing Repo with Danny and Soft Kitty and some other friends. Let's go over there, because we play a lot of Repo on the weekend, so it's kind of like an advertisement for myself. I think I rated Giggly recently too, but that's fine. I don't mind rating people more than once. Just got done streaming. Want to come say hi? Well, hi. I hope you had a great stream. Still enjoying Monster Hunter? I hope so. I've been addicted to Repo, as I said, and I'm soon going to be addicted to Blueprints, I think. We'll see. We'll see how much it gets its hooks in me. Probably not that much. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and raid Giggly. I'm going to finish my food and my cleanup and then go play some games. Thank you for watching, if you did. Pardon me. I enjoy doing these. I also enjoy eating, so this kind of gives me an excuse to eat. If you're here on Twitch, come on by and say hi to Miss Giggly Pups. Great, great friend of the channel. Very happy, very lively, very giggly, hence the name. Her streams are super chill. She plays a lot of co-op games. And we've had the pleasure of playing some Repo with her lately. So, her and some friends of the channel are playing right now. We'll go say hi. And then, yeah. I'll probably stream games tomorrow for a little bit. If we can't get a group for Repo early enough, we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you had a nice one. We'll do these more often once I go grocery shopping. And I guess next time we'll listen to Gojira. If I don't forget, which I probably will. But I've been Teeter. This has been Teet. We'll see you in the next one. Sorry that clap was loud. That's it. Love you. Good night.